I've absolutely loved my time as the Crusader inside of Diablo Immortal, but today we are changing classes to one of the biggest damage dealing PvE classes inside of the game. And that's right, you probably already guessed it, we are changing back to the Druid, the newest class that's dropped inside of Diablo Immortal. I think I may need to go to the barber and change him up a little bit, but the class change is happening. No more Crusader, and over the next 2 weeks, you're going to see me farming all of the essences necessary to be successful with this class. I'm going to put together all of the best builds that are currently available for the Druid, and I'm going to even get on an interview with one of the top Druid players inside of the game right now. This is all of the type of content you'll be getting from me over the next 2 weeks. So here we are, back as the Druid with absolutely no build, nothing set, and things need to be put back together. Let's actually see. I do have some forms ready to go. I have some stuff here. So I could swap back to some of these, but I think what I'm going to try and do is take a look at the essences that I currently have and see if I could put together any type of these new builds, because as you know, there have been new essences that have come out since I've played the Druid last. It actually seems like not too many. I'm probably missing 2 or 3 update stages of essences. So I actually have more essences than I would have thought. But before I get into any of the changes for the Druid, there's some things that happened inside of the game today that I want to talk to you guys about. First thing is Winds of Fortune has returned, and what a great time for this to happen for me, because if I'm dropping 2 times legendaries, double legendary items, it's giving me twice the chance of getting the essences for this Druid class, which is going to make my journey, at least in the next 24 hours, twice as easy. So I'm gonna wait as long as I can to activate this before I'm actually doing things inside of the game to earn any of these rewards. But for you, make sure that you're using your Wind of Fortune double rewards at a smart time. Do it on a day when you're going to be running your Heliquary bosses, when you're going to be doing a bunch of dungeons, and when you're going to be doing a bunch of your bounties need to be done, and maybe even some open world farming. When you're running a lot of events, that's the day you should be doing this. And once you're done with it, you should probably just save it in your bag. Check this out. I still have the Winds of Fortune in my bag from 12/24, which is, you know what? We just had the Winds of Fortune with the whole new levels of Inferno difficulty. So I save these until whenever I need a big experience jump. And as of right now, I'm already above Server Paragon level by 7 levels. So now's not the time that I would be trying to actually claim any of those experience, but I definitely do want those essences. Now, in addition to that, I just got a gift yesterday from Blizzard. New Year's Eve gift came through, and I kind of spoiled this gift for myself because I saw someone post something on Reddit, and I spoke about it in one of my previous videos. That post is directly what's inside of this box. So if we see right here, we have this card, and on it, I already read what it said the other day, but it's basically saying, we want to thank you for your support and contributions to another incredible year with Diablo Immortal. Thank you, Blizzard. And it gave us right here the Morn Skull gem. Let's see if we could zoom in on this so you can get a good look. There it is right there. A pretty nice collectible piece right here that's always going to remind me of the World of Warcraft Diablo Immortal collaborations. I don't know, I thought this was really cool, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. Now, also regarding my class change, if you recall, I was playing as the Crusader because I came over here to the Treasure Goblin server. I'm in a warband with very high level players, and I was trying to be a productive person in that warband for Heliquary raids and other events that we do. So the Crusader was offering me that massive support class so I could offer bubble and increase crit damage with banner for my teammates. So Tufani asks right here, is your team okay with you doing the class changes? Which is actually a pretty good question, because this person obviously understands why I was playing the Crusader, and really there is no better time for me to do a class change because we just finished being an Immortal and we are now playing as the Shadows. So I am actually perfectly fine with messing around with class changes because I'm not trying to hold down an Immortal reign at the current time. When we do push for Immortals again, I may actually try to go again as a Crusader, but time will tell. We'll see, and builds will change. Maybe I'll be effective with the Druid or whatever class I change to next. Now, first of all, I need to stash my Crusader charm, and I need to put on my Druid charm. And I'll be honest with you, my Druid charm is not that good right now. It's definitely something that needs to be a work in progress, but it has some Summon Oak Sage, Werebear, and Werewolf. So we'll equip that, and we'll continuously grow that charm as time goes over the next 2 weeks time as I just get more charms. Now, these essences from my Crusader, I'm probably just going to take to the essence transfer and drop them in there, because at the end of the day, I'm not going back to Crusader for a while, and when I do, the gear I'm wearing will probably be better, and I'll just do it that way. So let's switch all of this over to the Crusader. Let's multi-extract everything, and we're just going to get more flowing shards for all of that. Currently sitting with 480 of the loyalty points and legacy 2,160. So I've definitely been a bit of a hoarder and a collector over here, but we're going to see what essences I need to put together at least an initial starting Druid build, so we could at least go start farming, doing dungeons, and doing some of our bounties. Now, the primary attack I'm going to be utilizing right here is Landslide. I'm going to be going with Stag Charge, which is essentially what makes this build OP right now. Fire Tornado, Thorn Armor, and Raven Swarm. So I'm definitely going with a couple of skills that I didn't use previously. And actually, I have no bear or no wolf form in this build, and this is essentially the same build that I shared with you guys a few days ago that was sent to me by Gwyn. Now, right off the bat right here, this is the essence that I need for Fire Tornado, and I don't yet have that one unlocked. I don't want to spend any of these loyalty points just yet, but we'll see how well I do with my essence farming. So instead of that essence, I'm going to go with Ashmonger, which is another one for Fire Tornado. I was using one for Fire Tornado as it was. Unleashes an exploding target location, damaging and burning nearby enemies. Skill is triggered. Unleashes an expanding burning fire, damaging. I'm going to go with the new one right here, Ashmonger, because it may be a little bit easier for me in PvE. We'll see, though. Everything that I'm putting together now could be changed. And unfortunately, the shoulder piece that I need to increase my Stag Charge is also one that I don't yet have unlocked. It's one of the brand new essences, so I'm going to have to choose something else for my shoulders. And I'm going to go right here with Grand Endurance. It's going to give me a lot more primal power from utilizing Stag Charge, so at least it's something focusing on the same essence. I do have the essence that I need now for Thorn Armor for my chest plate, so that's at least a good one. So at least one of the essences for this actual build is going to be able to be put in place. But now let's look at the pants. And unfortunately, that is again another new essence that I do not yet have. I'm going to have to go with Scorched Birth, because this is the only one that's for an essence that I'm currently using, or for a skill that I'm currently using. So for now, that'll be a placeholder. And out of my first 4 essences that I need, only one of them do I have intact right now. The other 3 are the brand new essences for the Druid. Now, the first essence for my weapon I actually already have intact, which is going to generate 1 additional primal power per enemy hit from my Fire Tornado. And of course, the second weapon needed is one of the newest ones, which is now the 4th essence that I need to unlock, which is going to make Raven Swarm now conjure a storm of ravens that follows me, continuously consuming primal power to gradually increase its damage. That one we will get over time. In the meantime, let's find the essence that will work in its place. And there is only one essence that I have available right now, which is Raven Swarm now dashes forward as a flock of ravens, during which you're untargetable and damages enemies in its path. A portion of the cooldown is returned to the enemies if no enemies are hit. I guess we'll put that one in place right now just so we have an active essence. Not sure that I'm going to like how that one plays, though. Now, one of the essences that we need for the secondary weapon is this one right here, where Raven Swarm deals 38% increased damage to burning enemies. Again, another one that we don't have unlocked, but let's see if we have the other one needed. Oh my goodness, we don't. It's this one, Ravenous Wilds, which is Thorn Armor, damages and also shatters enemies' armor and increases your crit hit damage that they take by 15%. So we don't have any of the essences that we need here for our secondaries. So let's see what we can find to kind of take the place of them. Oh boy. Okay, none of the essences here are going to be helpful to this build at all. So I essentially am just going to be wearing nothing. No essences as my secondaries, at least for now. And this is sometimes one of the problems that you have with a newer class. They just have less essences to choose from. But the positive thing is the essences that you need have a better chance of dropping because there are just less general essences overall to have to get. Whereas a class from day one is going to have probably twice as many. So our build is put together and is definitely not optimal, nor is it the build that is actually end game here for the Druid. But at the same time, it's something that I could utilize to try to get myself a little bit moving here. Try to farm a bunch of new essences, but not before I activate Winds of Fortune. That definitely has to happen first. Now, as far as our set items go, I should be wearing a 4-piece Restitution in Blood. I'm currently wearing a 2-piece Restitution in Blood, where I'm supposed to wear a 2-piece Vithu, which I am wearing, and I should be wearing a 2-piece Gloom. So I'm wearing Enigmats, I'm wearing Feasting Barons, but the other, so essentially 4 of the pieces that I'm wearing are not optimal for what this class is. I'm going to farm up a bunch more greens while I can, and I'm going to actually set what I'm looking for up for dungeons as well, and hopefully I can farm some of these without having to waste any of the materials that I have, because I recently spent a whole bunch of them, and I honestly just don't have a ton. So right here, when you go into random dungeons, I could switch things out. Now, again, I am wearing the Vithu, and I am also wearing the Restitution in Blood, which is cool, and you can't get anything for bracelets here, unfortunately. But this Enigmats, I could switch each of these out for, let's say, a Gloom, and hope that we get those to drop while we run our dungeons. So here are the Gloom boots that we need. We will save that, and now we're going to switch out for the Gloom gloves as well. Here are the gloves. So now when I run these dungeons, I have a better chance of getting at least some of the set items that I'm looking for. Unfortunately, I have some decent ones that I'm wearing right now that are going to be replaced. This one is pretty decent, and so is this, but they're going to have to be replaced for the right green. Now, this may seem trivial, but I'm not in love with how my dude looks. I like for my characters to look good and maybe even represent me. This doesn't represent me. This guy looks weird. What are his eyes doing? He's doing some weird eye thing. All right, let's fix this guy up and make him look a little bit better. There are literally no hair choices I like for this guy, so we'll just go with a bald head. All right, definitely not my favorite, but I think this is how we're gonna go, at least for now. A little bit Mr. Clean looking, but it's fine, I guess. What do we actually look like when we... Yeah, it looks strange. Not my favorite. I also forgot and need to keep in mind that I could really utilize the overflowing arsenal to switch in some of the items that we may need. And there are a pair of Gloom boots right here, so let's actually grab those out of here. Nice, that's going to be cool. I'm not going to equip them just yet. At least they do have a 3-piece. Unfortunately, their vitality. They do have beneficial effect duration, which is good. And actually, the combat rating is nice and high, but they are not the right attributes. But at least it's a first piece into Gloom. And if I take a look at that event again, there's really nothing I can do here with rings because I'm utilizing the new set for rings. So I'll just grab whatever right here, and we'll just kind of break that one down. Although, look at this one. Look at this one. It's actually it's a freaking nice ring. Unfortunately, we can't craft rings of the new set, which I think that needs to be changed. Oh, but we do have more we could take a look at here. I wonder if any of the essences I'm looking for are going to be in here, or does this have any of the new essences that we're looking for? For the helm, I'm looking for the Kindling Crown. I don't see that here. It's also not showing me any of these that I don't have. Let's take a look at the chest plate, which the chest plate is the coat of Fiduci or something like that. Oh, this is one of the pieces that we actually need. Yeah, it actually is. And notice it does not show you that I don't have this essence. So we're going to actually grab that right here. Boom. Beautiful. Now let's take a look over here. We have the secondary and helm again. So let me just make sure that that helm is not hiding in here somewhere. Kindling Crown is what I'm looking for. And it is one of the brand new essences. And it is clearly not in here. But remember, there are 2 essences that I need for the offhand. Let's see if those are here. Ravenous Wilds and Tad's Perch. Let's see if we have either of those available. I'm betting we're gonna have at least one of them. Oh, say these show not obtained. Wait a second. Neither of them is here though, the one that I'm looking for. Oh man, that's actually frustrating that neither of the essences that I need for my secondary are here, but I can choose one of these. They're not obtained essences, so at least I can hopefully use one of those essences. Let's go with the Werebear consumes 15 primal power for each resets. Let's go with this one right here. Why not? And then we have over here another shoulder and pants. It actually looks like the essence that I was wearing was the chest plate essence that I needed, but it was a transfer. I'm not sure. That was super weird. Either way, this is a better one that I could put on. And even here, we're at least getting some better equipment that we could wear, although we're not getting all the essences we're looking for. Now we're looking for a Bullish Provider shoulder piece. Let's see if that's here and in place. Again, nothing that I actually need. This has not been very helpful for me, but let's take a look at the pants and see if they have what I'm looking for here. Wanton Buck. Wanton Buck. Of course it's not here. These are like only the original pieces. Man, that's frustrating. So I'll just craft one of these and hope that maybe we get a better piece that we could throw on. And it looks like we did. We actually got some good pieces of gear out of this that are good. This one's unfortunately Vitality. This one has Fortitude and is better, so I'll most likely throw this in place, although I do change my magic attributes. Nearby enemy damage, heals party, Rabid Might increases the damage done, continual damage taken, nearby enemies, It's a Fortitude jump and a combat rating jump. And here for the hands, we also get a Fortitude and combat rating jump. Let's see the skills. Dumb to beasts, skill damage increase, primary attack, full life enemies, skill damage, primary attack. So really this one is one that I should probably at least swap over. Let's equip. Do we want to transfer? I may lose that essence. What I'm going to do is I'm only going to get rid of the one piece that I definitely don't need. I'm going to hold on to this one over the next 2 days or so. I'm going to see if I farm that essence and then can put the better piece on. But now I think it's time that we cover up this ugly mug of my Druid, because I honestly think he looks terrible. Let's find a better cosmetic for him. This is probably the class that I have the least of. So Ghosts of Ashwald, we have some Seekers, we have this one, the Deadly Wisdom, which is what came out with the Druid. So this one actually looks pretty cool. We obviously have the Moon Scion, which was the collaboration right here. This one doesn't look great, although I do love how it looks on my Barbarian and Crusader. I don't love it here on the Druid. This one looks good. This one, Eternal Embrace, is one of my favorite cosmetics in the game. And it covers up the ugly mug like I was talking about. And then, of course, we can go with the Rune and Reprisal, which is the most recent World of Warcraft collaboration. And although I don't love... See, it still does this weird thing with the helmet. Although I don't love the way that this looks, it is the newest cosmetic. Let's go with this one for right now. We're going to go with this one and equip it and all of its attributes. So at least we covered up the face and we're wearing a newer cosmetic. But honestly, guys, cosmetics, the way that my character looks, that is not important. What is important is putting together the build and building out this class over the next 2 weeks to make it actually efficient. So my next steps are going to be to do a whole bunch of dungeons, get my bounties done for the day, continuously fill up my battle pass. I have about 1,000 more, 900 more points I need to cap for the week. Farm the normal gems that I need as well, and try and get the green set items that are going to really fill out this class. Then I'm going to spend probably quite a bit of time running a bunch of Vanguard and running a bunch of the Abyssal Verge as well. I feel like I get good drops out of those, specifically Vanguard. Now, if you have any Druid builds that you like, please feel free to share them with me in the comments section or over on Discord, however you like. Happy to try out a bunch of different builds. Obviously, what I'm working with now is just a dungeon and probably Helliquary build to drop a lot of damage. But as you saw, we still have a bunch of essences to farm. Make sure you guys follow me on this journey. It's going to be taking place for at least 2 weeks before I switch over to the next class, where you'll get different builds, my experience, and how quickly I could farm essences, and as I mentioned, even an interview with someone that is a master of the class. I appreciate you guys. Can't wait to see you back here in tomorrow's video. Take care, guys.